Hi, this is Thomas from Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast. It's going to be even more garbagey today because you've spoken. And we were like, hey, we should cut down the rambling. And everybody was like, no, we love the rambling. So if you don't like the rambling, I think you better find a different podcast. We're leaning in.
But you're going to like it.
Yeah.
You just have to stick around long enough until it becomes a part of you.
Plus, there's that fast forward button if you really
hit it. But I will say, I want to. Robbie brought up a good thing. He said you got to stick with it until you like it, and I feel that's how I feel about your mustache. Like at first you're like, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I can't. Like if Robbie shaved his mustache now, I think he would look ridiculous.
I really painted myself in a corner because originally I think I did it as a joke, and now it's become a part of me, my identity, and I would feel lost without it.
I don't think people would recognize you without it.
Oh, it's like a disguise of a disguise.
Yeah, like if you ever need to go into hiding, whoop.
That'd be a little flip the script type situation.
Yeah.
I was just looking at a video from the running event, and I forgot, Thomas, you had a mustache.
Oh, bad mistake.
That didn't look.
Oh yeah,
that was weird.
It didn't work.
I was like, what is on his face?
It didn't work.
That did look like a disguise.
Yeah. It looked like an eyebrow fell off and crawled down underneath my nose.
Pretty much.
Why were you looking at? Oh, because you were looking at
just some of the recaps from the shoes.
Saucony Endorphin shoes,
Yep.
which we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to. By the way, we're gonna need to sit down as a team and brainstorm about the running event this year because I think we need to. We took it to one level last year.
I guess we're having a team meeting in the middle of a podcast.
Yeah, I guess maybe we don't do that right now.
All right. Well, hey, big weekend last weekend, right, Meg?
Yep, we had a raging grit party at Mobtown. We had some Fuzzy's burgers. We ran. Well, you guys ran a few miles.
I mean,
in the rain.
I feel like it wasn't just the grit party. I mean, it started Friday. Mm-hmm. We had Ben flying in.
Ben Johnson.
We had other running celebs.
Megan Featherston.
Yeah, popping in. So it was really a weekend of insanity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I try to pass it off as my wife is like, oh, we just have an event Saturday morning. But really, it's the whole weekend.
You're like, and we're housing 10 people.
Yeah.
So.
We had two people, Aldrin, our stability reviewer, and intern Rachel, staying at my house. And my house is like 1,200 square feet, so it was like they're stacking bodies in there.
Well,
sounds weird. But
you know what? I thought, I'll be the nice guy. Hey, Aldrin, because like I heard he was cold or something. I was like, if you want, you can grab. He's like, nah, I'm good. So,
cold about what?
I don't. Where was he sleeping?
In the laundry room.
He was sleeping. Yeah,
and he said, I guess he got cold.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Aldrin. Didn't know this. I could have warmed you up with a hot cup of tea or something.
Rubbed your feet.
Yeah. First of all, it was cold down there, but it's a good cold.
That's how you want to sleep.
Right.
Well,
like how
honestly,
basements are cold.
But he's from Florida.
Yeah, he's
like when Meg's dad comes to our house, we'll have it on 70 something in the house for heating and air conditioning. Mm-hmm. The dude is freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also like weighs 80 pounds soaking wet, so
yeah, he could be carried off by a Baltimore rat.
That's true. You watch out, get caught in the jaws. But yeah, so that was cool having them come up. Aldrin's always a good time.
Aldrin is one of those characters that I don't know how you meet him and not like him.
Everyone loves him.
Yeah, and anyway, so enough about him. Too
much airtime.
Way too much airtime. The event. Well, so Saturday morning we went on a run together, Thomas.
We did. I got to tell you, Robbie.
With Drew Whitcomb from Wear Testers.
Well, Friday I went on a run with Ben, and we ran in the Adidas
Spanish
Adizero Adios Pro 3.
You got it. That's a hard one.
So many things.
Yeah.
We went for a run, and it was normally a pace that would be like my mediocre pace. Like it's not like pushing. It's just kind of like maybe at best up tempo. Mm-hmm. But it was lower than that. And we're just checking out the shoe. We do a little run, and I'm like, it was 80 degrees, so I was like, okay, I'm beat. This is hard. So I just thought it was a temperature. So the next day we run with you and Drew.
Yep. Got up bright and early.
And I just felt like I was dying.
I didn't know that during the race.
It was
During
yeah.
during our long run, I didn't realize that you were dying.
It wasn't that, like when we finished up. So we were running 9 miles before the party, so that we get 12 miles in total with the 3 mile run at the party.
Yeah.
When we were rolling in the last half mile, I just felt like crap.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, it was cooler, so I was like,
Did you hydrate the night before?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And that's the thing.
We also had cocktails the night before.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the case.
As did I.
And then we were supposed to run the 3, and I started off running with you guys at the event, and I was just like, nah, I'm good.
You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah. Which, as in my true Robbie tradition, told people it's 3 miles, and really is 3.75.
Yeah.
My bad, y'all.
It's just a little bit more down this way.
Yeah.
No, so, and then I'm like, okay, I'm tired, whatever. I'll take all Sunday off.
Mm-hmm.
Did I take Sunday off?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, I ran with Drew on you and Drew on Monday. So I took the whole day off. I'm like, fine, I should be recovered. I'll go out with Meg and Drew. And again, we were running around 8:30s or something like that. And towards the end, I was just like destroyed, like just beat.
Man, I don't like this.
I know.
It's stressing me out.
Well, I went out today, and I was running 9:50 pace,
Yeah.
and I had to stop and take a break at like 3.5 miles.
When's the last time you got an inside tracker done?
I know. I'm gonna have to do it. Megan keeps saying it, but my point is that I'm like, in the first time in my running history,
Yeah.
like I've had to take a couple days off because of injury.
Right.
I think I'm gonna take a couple days off just because
Man.
I don't know if it's because I'm tired, but like that's the only thing I can eliminate right now, unless there's something wrong with me, is just I'm going to take 2 days off and just see what happens. At first I thought maybe I have to acclimate to the heat, but like Meg's like, it should take like 48 hours. Is that what you were saying to?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's that.
What do you mean 48 hours?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, no, you have to explain it. Just pretend you know what you're talking about.
Like I came back
I
to Megan. I was like,
I don't know how long it takes to acclimate, but I feel like it's probably a couple days.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fact. Write
So-
it down.
So I've been running that. I don't know what's
I
wrong.
wanted to see how close you were to the actual truth.
1 to 2 weeks, so I was only off by.
Okay, so maybe I should keep running, but it's bizarre because my body feels great.
It looks great too.
Thank you, buddy.
Actually, I have to say, I'm not joking about that.
What are you talking about?
I feel like you've been doing this Sally McRae workouts and it seems to be paying off.
Okay, good.
I saw you without your shirt on the other day. I was like, oh, Tom's looking all right.
Oh, weird. Because I weighed myself this morning. I was all sad.
Oh, really?
But it could be muscle.
Dude, more muscle. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, so I don't know what's going on, Robbie. Like, the only thing I can think of is I'm exhausted. Maybe I'm just getting older and, we went to New York. We did all this stuff. Maybe I just need to sleep in a couple days. I don't know.
We need to put you in a cryogenic chamber for maybe a week.
Well, I've always thought I could probably run better if you took my head off. So maybe just put the head in the cryogenic. Keep the body up.
How would you run without your head?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think too
mental.
much.
Yeah.
So if you could lop off my head and I could chicken run.
I don't think you need to do that. Just get one of those Elon brain things that he's doing.
Oh, the implants?
Yeah, and then just separate that part off.
I have to say, and since we're rambling now,
Yeah.
that Elon biography I read,
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It gets a little in the weeds with some of the business stuff,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but
a large part of his life.
yeah, I really dig. I think that we call a lot of people assholes who are driven and they have a vision. And I think that he has a vision of where he wants to go. And you're either on that train or
Well, I mean, you see that a lot.
another way.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
Kanye West, like a lot of people like that. I don't know.
I think it can work both ways. But I understand, like, hey, if I want to operate at that level, you got to be able to hang with that level. And if that means apparently with Elon working 24/7 to get something done, that's what it takes.
Yeah. I feel like that's just those type of people though. You're like just born that way. That's just
he's
like
definitely
someone who's born that way, and that's how they are.
He was reading the encyclopedia when he was like 11. Like he wanted to know, and he knows. Like if someone said, "How far is the moon away?" he would give them both like the waning and the the two different. Yeah, and
he has options.
His mom had to tell him, kids don't want to hear that.
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
But that's a lot about me. I want to get into your guys running, especially with everything going on, and I want to talk about the party. But before we get into that, as long as I'm bringing up books, that Elon book, and I'll tell you the name of it, and then I want what Meg's reading right now and what Robbie's reading.
Oh, okay.
And also, I
like that. What do you read, Meg?
I'm gonna. What is it called? Get back to me. I need to remind the
Get
title.
back to me.
The Elon Musk book is called Elon Musk. And
you don't say.
No, it's by Ashley Vance. And then the other thing I'm starting back up on because of the Elon book is I'm back to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh wow, okay, because the fish thing.
I think. Well, I grew up in a certain religious vacuum, and Elon did as well.
Yeah.
And he went on a journey to explore religion, same as I did.
Huh.
And if you read the book, you'll understand more.
Well, I know. What's the last line in that book? Say goodbye to the fish.
You just ruined it for me.
In the Hitchhiker's Guide.
I know. I'm reading it now.
Oh, you never read it?
No, I feel like I read it in high school.
It's like an arbitrary line. It doesn't mean anything to the book.
I feel like I read it in high school, but I don't remember it. And I know there was a bad movie that came out that didn't quite cover it well.
Yeah, I never got into. I tried to read it. It was a little bit too nerdy for me, or just like I don't know. It was a little weird. I like Kurt Vonnegut. He's super weird, but
I read a ton of Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah, pretty much all his books.
You know how I have trouble finishing books sometimes. I was able to go through all of Titans. Slaughterhouse-Five, every single. I went on a tear, but I found that I was depressed after I read it.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, Meg, what are you reading?
Okay, well, first I just looked at the book I'm reading, which I feel like I only ordered a couple weeks ago, and I had to go to page 4 of our Amazon orders, so we are way too dependent on Amazon for starters.
Page 4.
It's called Mindset: The New Psychology. I almost read that wrong. Psychology of Success. It's a book that was recommended for coaches, actually, and parents, and that type of. It's all about the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. Which, if anyone has read any of those type,
can you
books,
give an example of fixed versus?
Like a fixed mindset is if you believe that. Let's say I was like, I will never be able to run a Boston qualifying time. I can't ever do that. That's too hard. That's a fixed limiting belief. Whereas if you have a growth mindset, you'll try and do research on how could I possibly do this? What do I need to do to get faster? Like you will.
So that could apply in anything. So if somebody says, I'm not good at math.
Right.
And they never, by default, then they don't try to grow their math skills. Then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. So it's all about that in the mindset. And
when was the last time you read something that wasn't running related or self-help? I hate to say it's self-help because it's not really self-help. You read stuff on like mental toughness.
Yeah.
You read any like fiction ever?
No.
Oh.
Like it's hard. Like when we go to watch a movie with Meg, it can't have anything far out.
No, but at the same time, I love trash TV.
You love trash, but that's still based in reality. Like as soon as a dragon appears, you're like, I'm done. And you love sharks, so you know.
I also love dinosaurs.
But that's I guess it's real.
Yeah,
but it's fiction real. Like we don't know what they look like or anything.
Thomas keeps saying that. I feel like they know.
No, I agree. This is a huge issue I have with dinosaurs. And
do you think they should have feathers?
No, because you don't like.
We're just making it up.
The colors of dinosaurs is the craziest thing to me because I'm like, there's no way of knowing what they look like.
Look at lizards. Like they based it on lizards, and so every dinosaur that you grew up with is like grayish brown.
But I think
they could have been like insane colors.
But here's the thing: they are insane colors now, and it's gotten more outrageous as time goes by. They just went nuts on the. It looks like a Burning Man, except dinosaurs are attending it. Like they're crazy colors, there's like costumes and stuff.
Are you talking about the Apple TV thing that just came out?
No, I just mean I feel like nowadays they're trying to get crazier and crazier with dinosaur colors, and before it was just like here's a T-Rex, he's green. Here's a velociraptor. He has
Grayish
stripes.
brown.
Now it's like they're multicolored rainbows with electric blue and all this stuff. I'm like, you're making that up.
But are they?
No, by default they have to be. I like it like when they found this is what Jesus looked like and they put all the like stuff on a skull and they're like, this is what he would have looked like at that time. I'm like, a Spaniard.
yeah. I mean, that makes more sense, but the dinosaur thing is just crazy.
I feel like there has to be some science behind it. I mean, that we started watching was it an Apple TV special?
Yeah, Apple's doing a thing on dinosaurs. But here's the thing with Richard Attenborough as the person who's doing the announcement, which I'll listen to anything that guy says. But no, I mean, seriously, I know this has so much to do with running, but you asked for rambling. But the funny thing is that with the colors of dinosaurs and stuff like that, they didn't find any skin. There's no fossilized skin. There's no, we don't even know. I don't know anything.
I'm on the same page. I was even.
I'm going to start being a dinosaur denier.
Even if you talk about even the Neanderthals and stuff, when they were like, oh, we found this one skeleton and this is like.
It could have been.
I'm like, I passed a person down in Baltimore that looks like that, like this morning, like 4 feet tall with like an oblong face or whatever. It's like, that's.
Wait.
It's just like.
There is some science to it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Says scientists determined dinosaur colors by analyzing the melanosomes discovered in fossils. So there is.
I don't believe it.
I mean, I like that. It sounds cool. Like they can take out the DNA then and look at
from the fossils.
What would be responsible for what?
Okay, so why aren't they doing the Jurassic Park thing and creating dinosaurs then? That's what I want to know.
Well,
maybe they are and we just don't know about it.
Okay. So you just bridged the gap in my mind.
Did I just get angry about something that is scientifically
Yeah, you're like a science denier.
Sorry about that. I still don't know. That's a little weird. Anyways.
Okay. So Jurassic Park was DNA stuff going wrong, right? Nature finds a way, chaos theory, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You brought something to my attention yesterday that, again, this ties back to the Elon Musk book, that they've discovered that there's artificial intelligence of it.
Google. Yeah. The Google engineer who got fired because he said that Google has a sentient AI.
Yeah.
Who's like a 7 or 8 year, basically it's like a 7-year-old child who knows a lot about physics. And
that is Elon's biggest fear. He says biggest threat to man is that unchecked AI will.
Well, they say that AI, no matter what, will never hurt a human and always will sacrifice itself for a human. I'm like, there's no way I believe that.
No way. I think as soon as they figure out what we are, they're like, get rid of those fuckers.
Yeah, well, I mean, why would you need us? We're only limiting their capacity.
Unless they're really into spectating marathons.
Wow.
They're like, all of us become slaves to the marathon.
Maybe that's our solution to more content for the website is hiring AI. I don't know if they would work. They might demand like a lot more money than.
I'm not working with robots. That's a hard.
You won't know that you are.
Are you one?
I might be.
Anyways,
virtual reality.
Yeah,
that's what Ncaa says.
Yeah.
All
so,
right.
I guess what I'm reading right now, and it's a slow read because it's like I've just been reading before I go to bed, but I need to pick it up. Is The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, which is
uplifting. Story.
By the way, 1,600-page book. Didn't realize that when I checked it out from
that's
Kindle library.
Yeah, you'll be on that one for a little while.
Yeah, I mean that's probably like take me a year to read. I'll probably jump between other books while I'm doing it.
But you know how it ends.
Yeah, yeah, I know the fall part.
I mean, it didn't. I mean, some people say it's, but
yeah, but it's interesting to definitely hear about, like the way that Hitler came up. Like it was like this perfect situation of events happening in Germany and like Bavaria and all that that like precipitated it. It's crazy. It seems very interesting to think about. Yeah, like I mean, he was basically homeless with no education, and essentially was just a great orator and like manipulative and everything else, of course. And it's just it's interesting to see how somebody, with no real formal background in anything could just come to the top of the
But it's weird because we've seen that happen. Like Trump didn't have any.
Yeah, but at least he had like a public facing like image before that, which makes sense. Like Ronald Reagan was an actor too and stuff. So
yeah, I suppose. Hey, but before that, we went to San Francisco with the Solomon Project, and you went to the bookstore that you were dying to go to.
Yeah, City Lights bookstore.
City Lights, and you got a book there that was recommended by the staff.
Yeah, it was just like on the shelf downstairs. So I'm like halfway through that too. I'm reading that, and so that's called Barbarian Days. Just like one guy's like, he grew up in the '60s surfing. It was really cool, just like hearing that vibe back then, like how it came about and his experience. It's more of a memoir, but it's really good. It won the Pulitzer Prize, so. Anyways, I'm enjoying it. It's a good summer book. That's a great summer book.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's our book review for you while you're running. But you can always audiobook those and listen to them on your own when you're not listening to this rambling stuff.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so with running wise, Meg, did you talk about your running?
No, but go ahead.
Okay.
I'll follow
I mean,
you.
it's not, like I said, did the long run with Thomas, and then the run with the group at the grip party, and then basically, I mean, that's just it. Just trying to get in running. I should have ran today and I didn't. And
how's really motivation going for you right now?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's I think it's just like the getting in the habit of getting up early is so hard for me. Like, cause it's not so much that I'm wasting time. It's just like my kids go to bed.
Yeah.
And then it's like I want to get some stuff done, and then before I know it, it's like 10:30, and it's like even for instance last night I'm just like, oh, I'm like watching the NBA finals, just to watch it. I'm like, oh, I want to see a little bit more, and then I'm like, shit, I can't get up. No, I can't get up. Like,
but let me ask you a question. The boys are okay. Your youngest is in daycare.
Yeah.
So he'll continue that through the summer.
Right.
So you'll still have to get him to daycare.
Yeah.
But your oldest, he's done his first year of kindergarten.
Yeah.
He's going to have his first summer break.
Mm-hmm. He's doing some camps and stuff like that, but he has 2 weeks off between now and then.
So when you have that and you don't have to, like right now, you have to get him, like, see, that's my thing with the boys. The days that I have the boys, I have to, like today, I have to get up early. I have to get out and get my run in so that I have enough time to drive them to school, which is a half an hour
Yeah,
away.
I mean, it's just literally I have to do it. And usually
But I'm saying once he goes to summer, will you have a little more cushion?
No.
Okay.
It's the same thing. But it's just like I have to discipline myself to do it. And that's it's just hard because I'm not a morning person, and it's like my natural tendency is to stay up later, and I did run 2 miles last night too though, because I went to get some more miles in the Tempest, but it's just like it's tough. And I usually do it.
That's the shoe I forgot to bring today.
I brought it. I usually do it, but then if I miss like one day, it's like, well, like that's a lot. Like if you miss one day.
I feel like with anything, with working out, with anything, if it can snowball. I do it with meditation.
Exactly.
I try to meditate, and it's like one day goes by and you're like, well, damn it, I got to get back on it. And then if 2 days go by, then you're like, well, and then it falls out of that habit.
And I also, so here's the other thing, is I do these like mental tricks in my head where I'm like, it'll be the night before, and I'll say, oh, I can just stroller run to daycare and then get in a couple miles afterwards and whatever. But then, something goes awry, and then I end up having to do an errand instead, and I don't do it. Or
it's raining buckets.
That's what happened this morning, yeah. So I ran with my kid, Ray, who's, he's...
I was leaving him anonymous.
Oh, shoot, sorry. Whatever. He's 6, and I was like, well, let's go on a run. And so we run a mile or whatever. Well, of course, we were a mile away from our house, and it started pouring buckets of rain.
Like like not the light buckets. It was a heavy rain.
And I hadn't seen him in this adverse state for a while, where he was really losing it. And he was just like crying hysterically.
Like, is he dressed for school at this point?
Well, he didn't have school today, so it was just, he's just wearing like t-shirt and shorts, but he has his teddy bear with him too. And I'm like, I put a teddy bear in my shirt and it still got soaked. And I was trying to just be like, hey, just pretend we're in a huge sprinkler and like you can jump in the puddles, you can have fun. And nothing was working. And he was just hysterically crying for a mile back home as we ran through the rain and we're completely drenched. And then also, you know how everything's loud, like cars and rain, everything is just like a whole experience.
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've dealt with it with the boys.
When we did the 5K with Henry, he was, I don't know how old. He was
too young.
And it started to rain and it was cold. So I feel your pain.
And there's nothing worse than when you know that there's no coming back. Like they've crossed that line of you can't, like you were trying to say, hey, pretend it's a sprinkler, jump in the puddles.
It's just,
and you can't bring them back from that. You know that they're in that zone of like the only thing that's going to stop this is getting to the house. There's nothing worse than that.
There's no solution to it. I didn't have my phone or anything, so I was like, look, it's just you're going to be stronger at the end of this.
You're going to learn some confidence here.
Yeah, as soon as we got home, it was fine. I got him some hot chocolate.
Oh, that's good.
So
I wouldn't mind getting cut in the rain for some hot chocolate.
Yeah, but anyways.
And that I'm going to say something about the hot chocolate that has nothing to do with the hot chocolate.
Okay.
But the Ray Zahab coffee that he sent.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Yeah,
so if you didn't listen to Ray Zahab podcast, he's an explorer and adventurer. He makes some coffee or roast coffee, and he sent us some. It's like ridiculous.
I like a dark coffee. I like a really strong coffee, and he sent this winter. I forget the name of the exact, like the name of the coffee.
Oh, it's called Capik One. It's like KAPIK1.
But the coffee, it's the one that's the winter something camp.
Okay.
All right, I don't know, but it is so good. And
we'll put a link in the description for you if I remember.
Yeah, remember to put that. But yeah, it's so good, and I think just another shout out to Ray. Thank you for sending that over. It's delicious.
Yeah.
My running has been okay. I feel like I am realizing that I struggle a bit with all the travel and all the events and stuff that we do, and my running kind of takes a hit. My health kind of takes a hit. I just actually did Inside Tracker Friday before we did the B10, and I thought on the outside it looked like the B10 went really well, and it did, and we had some fun. I was really struggling during that run, and it turns out my iron levels are no longer good.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So even if you're taking iron, your iron levels aren't good?
There's a ton of ways that your body doesn't actually absorb the iron. So like if you're not taking it at the right time with vitamin C, like there's a ton of things that can make it not actually.
But don't you take the multivitamin with the iron added in?
No, she takes a blood builder separate.
I take one called Blood Builders.
Sounds cool.
Doesn't it?
And it was working for a long time. I think part of it was also when we were traveling and stuff. I'm not sure I was as
adamant about taking
adamant about taking it every night before bed, and so it could have been partially my fault. Also, maybe just like I don't know other things, but
yeah,
I'm gonna work to get those levels back up so that I can start feeling better running.
But you got to run with Feathers.
I did,
and it seemed like you guys had a good run.
We did. We had several good runs. I think we did all of our runs together.
With Ben Johnson too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about like I didn't want to run with them. I was like, screw that. Yeah, like right now I'm getting dragged no matter what. How long am I going to last with that crowd? What was your average pace for that run?
Oh, we were doing like 8-minute miles.
Oh, never mind. They suck.
Fast and still fat.
No, I thought you guys were going out and doing marathon pace miles.
Oh, we called it when we were out there. We were like, I asked, because I told Megan, I was like, I'll do whatever your workout is. And we were out there just chatting and running. And I was like, if you want to pick it up, I'll pick it up. If you don't want to pick it up, I'm fine with that too. So we just kind of ran. And I took them around the stadium. So we ran around Orioles and the Ravens. And they saw a lot of Baltimore.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And of anybody that I'm probably jealous of their running, it's Ben Johnson. Just seems like he can just run whatever, whenever.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
They're like the group who has all their like stuff on lockdown, and we're like the group that's
We're the garage band that every once in a while, a bad note happens where the cymbals fall over or the amp blows out.
Yeah, or we just forgot to bring our instruments.
Yeah. Speaking of which, at the party, the Phantasm band was pretty good.
They were real good.
Yeah.
I was like sad for them because, it was just the weather wasn't great. So a lot of people were kind of inside or moaning about. But man, they were, yeah.
Also, like, I felt like the way that we set that up may not have been conducive to people dancing in front of the band.
Yeah, it's just a weird situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like if we had tables out in the street, maybe that would have been more like a place for people to put their beers while they're hanging out.
That's
like,
a good call.
Well, that's what they do during their Oktoberfest. So,
Okay.
Whatever. Anyways.
The beers that we had were amazing.
They were good.
The Crispy Boy and the Sour Girl.
Did we say it was at Mobtown Brewing? I don't know if we said that yet.
I think in the beginning, the very beginning.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't even like beer, and I enjoyed both.
Oh, you had two.
Oh, you did it? Oh, wow.
Oh,
I didn't notice
I
that.
had 2 drink tickets, and I got 2 beers.
Right.
wow. I'm impressed.
And then we had Fuzzy's Burgers, was basically, I didn't realize, but they're like a smash burger thing where
Yeah.
the meat was out in a ball
Yeah.
and they smash it down with a thing.
On the flat top grill.
I
Yeah.
had the falafel one. It was really good.
I kind of wish I'd had the falafel one because I've eaten like crud the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Like yesterday we took Drew from Wear Testers
Yeah,
to-
dude, I regretted that. Sorry, go ahead.
to Ekiben.
You regret Eggy Ben?
Yeah, it was like the sandwich. It's one of the best fried chicken sandwiches I have, but it's such a disaster to eat that the whole time I'm stressed out about my mustache has secret sauce all over it, and like going through. No matter how, it's one of those situations where before the meal you're like, I'm gonna grab 50 napkins, and it's still never enough.
Okay, so was your mistake eating it or was your mistake not getting the bowl like Drew and I did?
Probably not getting the bowl, but I like the bao bun. It is what it is. But it's just like, yeah, it was. I don't know. I would probably, and plus after that weekend with all the food that we ate, I'm like, I really don't need a fried chicken sandwich right now.
Well, Meg didn't feel like cooking on Sunday night, which I don't blame her. Like she made this BMO cake that was insane.
What's BMO from?
BMO's for
Adventure Time.
Oh.
I spent like not all, a good portion of Sunday making this cake for Henry, who's turning 11 tomorrow. And it came out pretty well.
Yeah, it looked ridiculous. I'll try to get Brandon to put a photo on. Brandon,
and
get the photo of it.
And we went out to run with Drew on Monday morning, and I left the cake on the counter because Ralphie's never eaten anything off the counter. So
Never?
I forgot this. He ate part of Theo's cake last year.
That's what I thought. I was like, I feel like this situation has happened before.
But at least Theo's cake, he got to see it, and it was like already half eaten, and then Ralphie went for it. But it's...
Oh, that's Adventure Time?
Time.
Okay. Wait, do you think we'll get flagged for that?
No.
Okay.
But so
Busy making babies.
I totally forgot about that incident. So that's the only other time he's eaten anything off the counter. So I just left the cake there, and we came back from the run, and I'm sitting on the stairs, and I'm like untying
We can show
my
both
shoes.
pictures, the before.
Oh yeah, we
and the
should. All
after.
right.
And Drew goes, "Oh, he got eaten," and I'm like, "What is Drew talking about?" And he goes, "BMO, he got eaten," and I'm like, "Stop!" And I walk over, and there's just like chunks of Ralphie.
Ralphie had a
eaten.
good time.
Meanwhile,
sure.
Ralphie has been getting chubby. And so
We go to the vet.
the
They're
last
like
person that needs to be going
Yeah.
after cake.
3 pounds overweight and needs anxiety
Little dick.
meds.
But we were able to salvage the cake. I tried it. It was delicious. And then additionally, I brought over a healthy slice for your sons.
Yeah.
Did they eat it?
No, it was like right as they're going to bed after they brush their teeth. I'm like, thanks, that was sick. No, I do
felt bad because
appreciate.
like your youngest got on when I was talking to you on the phone. He's like, "Hi, Thomas." And I was like, "Do you want a piece of cake?"
I do
And he
appreciate
was like,
that.
Yeah. So,
No, it was really nice. So no, they'll have it today.
All right.
it's actually quite good.
I'm sure Megan always makes good stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess we can real quick hit up some shoe things.
Why don't you guys talk about this real quick because both of you are running it.
The Saucony Endorphin Speed. So my blue version we would have had on camera if you're watching on YouTube, but it's
Got caught in the rain with you and your son, right?
Yeah, it's soaked right now. I did bring it in, but
this is one of your favorite shoes.
Yeah, this has to be one of my favorite shoes. The original Endorphin Speed and 2, which is basically the same, probably the last couple years. And I gotta tell you, this one's pretty sweet. I think they've honestly just made it better.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 shoes that I know that Robbie adores. It's the Epic React and this one.
Yeah, Endorphin Speed.
Would you say those are probably your 2 all-time favorites?
Yeah, I think so.
They said that the major change to this is just the plate, but I feel like this foam feels bouncier and a little bit softer.
It definitely is.
Okay.
For sure.
And they've also acknowledged that people are using this shoe like as a daily trainer.
Yeah, I mean, it does work for
Right.
a plated shoe. I mean, plastic plate. It does work as
It's not carbon?
No, the Speed is a TPU plate.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But
I think that's interesting about that is the shoe originally came out as kind of like the budget race day shoe.
right.
But people are using it every day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You really could use this still as a budget race day shoe. I think the weight stays pretty much the same, but it's more foam. Didn't you say, Meg?
So it's not more stack, but it's more foam. So they're making it a little bit wider, so it's more stable. And yeah, it just feels lighter to me and better.
Which was really the only problem people had with the last version was that it was pretty unstable. It's just, it was fun when you picked up the pace in it, but it was fairly unstable. I think this does the exact same thing that the last one did, just better, which is crazy because I thought the last one was awesome.
And the upper?
Yeah, upper's great.
Is this the one that you had a little trouble with the tongue?
Yeah, that's the only thing I had an issue with. I'll show you when I put mine on. Somehow the tongue has gusted it, but still like it still slides down. So like when you're,
Could it be your foot shape, or you just think that
I didn't have any issues.
that makes not
maybe, but I don't know. It's just really annoying to me. You know when you always have to just like pull the tongue up? It kept happening to me.
That's so weird.
But I haven't run in the Endorphin. Have you run in the Pro yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, it looks like you have.
No, that's Brandon's.
Oh,
Yeah.
trash. Okay, I'm all for unisex coloring and stuff. This one pushes the limit of Barbie.
Merman.
Yeah, merman. The essence of wet is moisture.
With the sparkles, it is very merman.
I mean, it gets, there is, you can't see it because if you're just listening, but when we're talking, there is sparkling under the mesh. So you get some iridescent sparkles. It's got iridescent thing along the throat and the lacing. This is, as far as it's pink, this to me pushes the gender neutral.
Yeah. Well, at this
race
point, I
station.
think it's just, I don't even know what it is. But yeah, the upper I really love. I guess I've never really seen that mesh, like fishnet style upper almost.
I like this fishnet.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can see through to your toes when you put the shoe on.
You better have your manicure done.
Yeah. I mean, and
Or is
the
that a pedicure?
That's
pedicure.
a pedicure.
Okay.
The tongue's wild too. It has these like hole cutouts in the middle. I think
The plate, though,
makes
is
sense.
interesting when you look at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's a huge cutout through the
It
foam.
looks cool.
And you can see the plate.
It's pretty up there, right against your foot. I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at where it is in the stack height, that's high up.
I think that the closer to your foot the plate is, they say the more you get out of the plate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that's why you see in like the Metaspeed Sky Plus,
They should
the
moved it
plate
up.
is up closer to your foot. Mm-hmm. There's more cushioning underneath, and I think this is another similar one.
I'm excited to run in that one because I did love the Pro, especially the Pro Plus as well. And
This looks like a departure from the original Pro.
Yeah.
And Pro Plus.
which is a lot firmer of a racing shoe. But
and on rails. And this has a wider base.
yeah. But yeah, so we'll run this. Brandon ran in it, and I said, "So Brandon, what'd you think?" It's good. Oh, cool review, dude. So he offered no insight into the
Yeah, I think
into
that
issue.
we will have today. Robbie and Megan will do first thought video on the speed that will be available on YouTube, and this one will be the following day. It'll either be Brandon and Megan or myself and Megan talking about the Pro 3. Pro 3. Everybody wants that.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get reviews of them, full reviews up soon. But we have, how many shoes did we get like in the last week?
I mean,
1 million.
I got the Hoka Mach 5, the Hoka Bondi, the Speed,
Pro 3,
Pro,
the Adidas Pro 3.
Yeah,
Plus,
I'm dying.
plus Meta Speeds.
Yeah,
Skies and
yeah,
So
Sky
many
and Ed.
super shoes.
It's the craziest thing that I'm going through, like a slump in ability right now. Like I just feel like I can't pick it up, and all I have is speed shoes to review.
Effort is effort, bro.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, shit. Like at the end of the day, like there's been shoes that like I can get a feel doing, striders and, going through. Obviously you want that race experience and holding the pace, because I do think that is important as far as super shoe goes. How does that shoe help? Like, it's one thing, how do they feel when you got quick turnover? It's another thing is, how does it feel when you're holding your marathon pace? So I think it is important to run at marathon pace and feel like, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing that like I love about the Alpha Fly is I feel like I can extend marathon pace longer in that shoe. So it's not necessarily about how fast I'm running it, but like marathon pace. But if I can go an extra mile, feeling good with marathon pace, that's really where I feel the difference in the super shoes is that holding the pace and cruising. Because we're not like in a race. You're not up there like getting on Scott Fauble's hip and being like, let me just sit and kick and then I'll make my move at mile 23.
Yeah.
But I do think you could, especially with that mustache. All you need to do is start eating burritos.
I could be a sub-in for Jared Ward.
There you go.
All right.
With those Endorphin Pros. See how I wrap that up?
I do. Good job, Robbie.
I do. Yeah, we won't. We'll talk about it next week maybe. I think Saucony's elevated themselves to maybe one of the top this year.
It's weird. There's only a couple shoes that I didn't enjoy running in from them, but I really liked the Ride 15.
Yeah.
I liked.
Dude, Tempest is awesome for a stability shoe. It's crazy.
I think it is. We have one of our reviewers has one problem with it, but I don't understand. It didn't happen to me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that real review. But anyways, so I don't know if we have anything else today.
So today's guest is Tori Gerlach.
Tori's the first female with the Tin Man Elite.
Yep.
Nice.
She was
Tin Woman Elite.
Multi-time NCAA All-American and U.S. Olympic Trials qualifier. And we chat with her about some Adidas shoes and what it's like being the only lady over there.
Do you know why it's called Tin Man Elite?
I thought it has something to do with like Wizard of Oz.
Mm-mm. It's the coach's last name who started the group.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So that's why you don't need to change it to Tin Woman. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's still the coach.
I think I did know that, but I had forgotten at some point. I need to say that so people will take us seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, it's so important to be up on track and all that stuff all the time.
Yeah. 50,000 events to keep track of.
Yeah. Diamond Leagues.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Diamond League does sound cool, though.
Doesn't it?
I gotta say.
I mean, I think everything should have a Diamond League.
Yeah.
I think maybe Believe in the Run should have a Diamond League.
Division.
Yeah, Diamond Division.
All right. Anything else for the intro? I think we're good. All right, listen up.